Hi everyone. So as you can hear, I am suffering from the singer's worst nightmare, which is a lost voice. Basically I had 2 gigs this weekend and I was really good for the first gig. I warmed up and I looked after my voice and everything was fine. I didn't spend too much time shouting at people afterwards. And then the second gig on the Saturday I kind of broke all the rules. Had a rehearsal during the day, I didn't do any warming up. I sang fine, you know, I looked after my voice when I was singing and everything, but then after the gig there was a smoke machine and loads of smoke and loads of people there that I really wanted to talk to, so I spent all of the rest of the night talking to people, and by the time I got to bed at about 4:30 in the morning I didn't have any voice left and there was literally nothing at all, you know, it was all really like this, just couldn't hear me at all. So I've spent the last 2 days resting my voice, so it's now Tuesday, and I'm going to take you through a whole bunch of remedies and we're going to see if we can get my voice back, and hopefully those same remedies will work for you as well. So the most important thing, number one, absolutely the thing that you must do when you lose your voice is drink loads and loads and loads of water, okay? So I've got one of these here. I've already had a pint of water. This is a slightly smaller glass, but you've just got to get rehydrated, okay? So the water that you drink takes about 20 minutes to actually get to your vocal cords, and if you're dehydrated, especially when you wake up first thing in the morning, all your other internal organs get that water first, so you have to just drink as much as possible so that all the water goes to everywhere that it's needed. It's really good for your entire body, but it's especially important for your vocal folds, okay? So there are these 2 tiny folds of muscle essentially inside your throat, in your larynx, in your voice box, and they need to have a really thin coating of mucus over them at all times, and this thin coating of mucus is what kind of helps to keep them lubricated. It's like an engine oil, essentially. It's the same as the engine oil in your car, and it helps them to vibrate smoothly together and work the way that they're supposed to. So when you have a cold, or you spend a lot of time in a smoky venue, basically the mucus gets really thick and dry, or it just vanishes completely. This can also happen from smoking and also from e-cigs, so the stuff in e-cigs is the same as the stuff in a smoke machine, and it will just dry your throat out. So obviously just be really careful, really aware if you do smoke. I'm not advocating it, but you know, if you do, you do, that's just the way it is. But just make sure you drink loads and loads of fluids, okay? Now, they also recommend that you have tea with lemon and honey. Now, I have to say that anything that you drink is not going to go specifically and immediately to your vocal folds. It's not going to go there. If anything that you ate or drank went down your throat and into where your larynx was, you'd choke, because that's going down towards your lungs. Okay, so it might coat your mouth and the kind of your pharynx and down into your esophagus, but it's not actually going to hit your vocal folds at all. So there's a bit of a debate about tea. Warm fluids are really good, because that warmth kind of comes down around your larynx and it helps to bring the blood flow there, which helps to kind of speed up the healing process, and it can kind of help to just relax and warm up those muscles which have been kind of strained and overworked. Basically the bad thing about tea, like regular tea, is obviously the caffeine in it, and the caffeine in coffee as well. They're both diuretics. They will make you pee more, which will mean that you'll lose more fluids. So obviously if you are drinking coffee or tea, then just make sure that you keep having lots and lots of water, okay? So the best way, and really the only way, to get fluids immediately onto your vocal folds is steam. And you can have a hot bath or a hot shower, or you can do what I'm about to show you, which is basically stick your head over a bowl of hot water and sit there and breathe it. And I actually prefer that method, basically, because you get to just kind of sit and chill out for 10 minutes. You don't speak, you don't use your voice at all, you're just kind of sitting there chilling out. It's really good for your skin, and it's really good for your vocal folds, so you just kind of breathe in that steam, and that helps to hydrate them directly without making you cough or choke or anything like that. Obviously the other most important thing to bear in mind is just don't speak, okay? So if you really lose your voice and you've got nothing there, rest it for as long as is possible. Don't speak, don't sing, really try not to whisper. So yesterday and the day before, I literally couldn't get a sound out of my voice that wasn't a whisper, but when I was doing it, I was then doing it with as little volume as possible. I was right way down here, you probably can't even hear me, right? But the problem with whispering is that your vocal folds are open slightly and you're kind of pushing air through them, and that air going through them is just going to dry them out more. So try and avoid whispering. If you have to speak, speak like I am now, really, really quietly and really, really gently. Don't shout, don't push your voice at all, and ideally just rest it for as long as possible. Okay, so basically we're going to go and we're going to try some steaming, and then we're going to try a few other things, and we're just going to see how we get on. Okay, so I'll see you at the bowl. Okay, so welcome to my kitchen. Just going to boil some water in the kettle, and as you can see I've got this glass Pyrex dish here, and basically I really like to use this one for steaming because it's got these handles. It makes it really easy to pick up without hurting myself, without burning myself on the on the glass. But you can use any bowl that you like. Just be really aware obviously that it's going to get quite hot. So we're just boiling the kettle now, and then once the water's boiled, we're going to put some of it into the bowl, and literally that'll do. You just pour some of it into the Pyrex bowl or into whatever bowl you use. And it's really entirely up to you how much you use. I like to put quite a bit in there. I like to think it makes a bit more steam. But basically that's it. And then we're going to go and hang out over that for a few minutes. So I will see you shortly. Okay, so as you can see, boil the water on a table, just wherever's easiest for you really, so you can put your head over it. Got some water here. I'm going to keep drinking lots of water. But anyway, yeah, so literally just take your bowl of water, boiling water, and you take a towel, and you might want to tie your hair back actually, but I can't be bothered, so you just take your towel over your bowl, and then you literally just drape the towel over your face, put your head over the bowl, the towels over the bowl as well, and it just creates this little kind of steam pocket. I recommend taking your glasses off as well if you have any on. And basically you can put any kind of essential oils you like in here. Like I said, old bass oil is quite good, or thyme oil or something like that, clove oil, eucalyptus, especially if you're feeling a bit bunged up. And basically if you've got problems with your nose, if that's all blocked, then you can breathe in through your nose for a bit as well, and it should help to kind of clear out your nose, as you can hear. But you mostly want to be breathing in through your mouth when you're doing this, basically to get the steam into your vocal folds, you know, and the liquid kind of coating them, which will help to loosen up any thickened mucus, help to moisturise them if they're a little bit dry, and that kind of thing. So you want to hang out here for about 10 minutes, and you want to do this 2 or 3 times a day ideally, when your voice is feeling really shot. And it's a really, really nice time to kind of just sit and chill out and not do very much, and just kind of breathe nice and gently and deeply, and let that stuff just kind of work its way into your lungs and into your voice box. It's also really, really good for your skin as well, kind of steaming your skin. So you want to kind of like do this with bare skin, and then afterwards you can put on a nice moisturiser, and that can be quite good for your skin as well. But we're here for singing, so let's just carry on breathing. Okay, so it's been about 10 minutes. Starting to feel a little bit better, you know, it kind of, the steam tends to kind of move any phlegm and stuff off your chest as well. It helps to kind of lubricate stuff and get it moving again. So if you feel like coughing after this, then obviously if you've got stuff to cough up, then cough it up, but just be really, really careful, like I've said before, just to not you know, damage your vocal cords by kind of slapping them together with the whole cough thing. Just a few more words about a few other things that you can use before we go on to doing the actual kind of exercises. So we've had a quick word about tea, and I would say that the kind of teas that you can drink that aren't going to kind of act as a diuretic are things like herbal teas, and something like a ginger tea is really, really good because the ginger is an anti-inflammatory and kind of helps to warm up this area around near your throat and bring the blood flow there a bit more, which will help to speed up the healing process basically. So ginger tea is pretty good, and you can put some honey and lemon in there if you like, but just, you know, don't go overboard, and just be aware that, you know, it's not actually going to go on your vocal folds, it's just going to go in your mouth. The other thing is licorice tea as well. Licorice can be really, really good for vocalising and singing as well. It kind of, I find it kind of stimulates the saliva a bit more, and that whole act of swallowing saliva kind of gets your vocal cords to kind of come together and re-lubricate and come together and re-lubricate every time you swallow. So that's another good thing to do. But anyway, we're going to move on now to the some exercises just to kind of mobilise your vocal folds a little bit more and get them going. So I will see you at the keyboard.